Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As the Speaker said, we're continuing to move forward with how the Missouri House plans to use the federal stimulus money. And as the Speaker said, there seems to be a misconception that we, the state, are going to send the $2 billion back. That is not the intention. There also seems to be a misconception that the MoDOT money that will be used for bridges, roads, etc. will not be used, will be sent back. That is not accurate either. We, the Missouri House, plan to take the entire federal stimulus of approximately $2 billion and use it as we've always said. In some cases, we'll use the money for stimulative purposes, well, actually really all for stimulative purposes, creating jobs and stimulating the economy by sending some of the taxpayers' money back to them. And at the end of the day, our hope is that truly this will stimulate the economy within the state, start to turn things around so that we don't have to continue to face the difficult decisions that we've had to face so far putting together the 2010 state budget.
How much money do you expect to send back?
Approximately $1 billion. That's the target we're shooting for. As you can imagine, as complicated as the tax code is, it's extremely difficult to say with a high level of accuracy, but $1 billion is what we're shooting for.
What's the mechanism to do that? How do you decide who gets it and how much? And
right. And we debated this almost from the beginning of the session, actually. There's so many different ways to do that. Do you do some sort of sales tax holiday? Do you do it through personal property tax? Do you do it through some sort of income tax change in the code? And at the end of the day, we are going to do it through a reduction in the income tax rate because the structure is there. Obviously, people pay taxes, receive refunds, so our intention is over a 2-year period to reduce Missouri's income tax rate from 6% to 5.5%.
So you wouldn't get the money back through a distribution system. You're saying that in the future we won't pay as much taxes.
Correct. You would either pay less or receive a bigger refund, but you're correct. At the end of the day, the Missouri taxpayer will be able to put more money in their pockets and decide how it should be spent to stimulate the economy and not through the General Assembly or the legislature.
Was there any thought to doing the checks like the Hancock rebates back
Yes.
in the day?
Again, we talked about everything under the sun, and there were some very creative ideas, and every option had its pluses and minuses. The challenge with what we refer to as a rebate is, first of all, how do you calculate how much everyone gets, because everyone has a different tax rate, and secondly, there's the cost of doing that. I remember the Hancock, there was a lot of, I won't say a firestorm, but a lot of unhappiness that the state spent so much money to send back these, in some of cases, very little tiny checks. So by doing it through an adjustment in the tax code, we eliminate that waste of taxpayer money.
Have you talked to either the Senate or the governor about this plan?
I have not talked to the governor per se. I've actually had some initial discussions with my counterpart in the Senate.
It couldn't, even if this manages to pass, couldn't the governor just say no and veto this?
The governor can veto any policy bill and he can line item any budget.
But let me rephrase my question. Do you think this is something he would be amenable to, considering this really doesn't seem to be in line with what he proposed initially with the stimulus?
I would say that I don't know if the governor, this is even on the governor's radar screen. This is obviously outside of that, so he may like the idea. Again, I haven't had a chance to talk to the governor until such, and I don't think I actually will be dealing with the Senate on this, but I would be interested, obviously, to see what the governor has to say.